First race starters are lining up behind the gate. We have 1 Last Wind Down, 2 Basin View Brad, 3 Fittipaldi, 4 Nuco's Typhoon, 5 Full of Finesse, 6 Drop the Charge, 7 Lucky Dealer. On the outside 8 is PH Catman, 1 Trailer 9 JB Mist. First race, showtime. There they go, they're off and pacing, and from the outside, Lucky Dealer goes for, and he shows a nose in front, but on the inside of him, racing with him into the turn, is Full of Finesse. Last One Down gets away in third. Basin View Brad looks at it fourth. Fittipaldi gets away in fifth. And on the run is Nuco's Typhoon. On the outside of him is Drop the Charge. PH Catman on the outside, trailing the field as they make their way onto the opening quarter is JB Mist. And Mike Downey and Full of Finesse have set up shop on the front end. Racing along in second is Lucky Dealer with Last Wind Down looks at it from third. They're by the opening quarter, 29-4, and they race into the top turn with Full of Finesse. Showing the way, racing in the second is Lucky Dealer. Last Wind Down is racing third. Looking at it fourth is a Basin View Bred. On the outside now, Fittipaldi looks like he'll make a move from fifth as they come off the 3/8 race down in front of us for the first time onto the opening half. And still up front and showing the way is Full of Finesse. Lucky Dealer's racing second. Last Wind Down looks at a third. Basin View Brad is a fourth. Then Fittipaldi. Nuco's Typhoon, JB Mist, PH Catman, Drop the Charge trails. They were by the half in 1 minute and 4/5, and they race around the lower turn. Next stop is the 5/8. Full of Finesse shows the way. Racing a second is a Lucky Dealer. Last Wind Down is racing third. Basin View Brad follows along in fourth. Fittipaldi is fifth. Raking a move now on the outside. Nuco's Typhoon goes from 6, and down the backside they race. Next stop is the 3/4. Full of Finesse has been there throughout the mile. Still your leader by 3/4. 1:31-2, and they race into the final turn. Full of Finesse racing, getting a perfect 2-hole trip is Lucky Dealer. Waits to pounce in the stretch. Last One Down is third. Nuco's Typhoon now move to the outside from fourth. As they come off the 7/8, down the stretch they drive on home. On the outside now, Lucky Dealer. Full of Finesse is racing second. Nuco's Typhoon on the outside third. Right down to the wire. This one's all Lucky Dealer to win it. Full of Finesse for second. Nuco's Typhoon third. Time for the mile, 2:02. Back to the winner's circle now. Your unofficial winner of race number 1, it's horse 7, Lucky Dealer. Big gelding, 10 years by Make a Deal out of the Albatross mare, Rihanna Hanover. Owned by John Bro of Shediac, Cape, New Brunswick. Trained by Louis Bellevaux. Jill Barrio in the driver's seat. Lucky Dealer picks up his second winning trip of 2011. Converting a 2-hole pocket trip to a victory this afternoon. Time for the mile, 2:02. Number 7, Lucky Dealer, receives a cooler, memorial cooler from Jim Oots Robertson, Jean Ann Griffin Memorial. Congratulations to number 7, Lucky Dealer, and Jill Barrio. Starters for race number 2, the Tony and Lareg Haig Memorial Pace, line up behind the gate, scoring from the inside out. We have Trifecta Drummond, Contact Jones, March Past, Alyssa Down, El Zanico, Real by Emma, Wild Western Abbey. On the outside is How Max Tempo, 1 Trailer 9's Electric Rock. Here they come. They're off and pacing. March Past goes for the lead, and on the in between horses is El Zanico as they make their way around the first turn on the outside. Now El Zanico shows a nose in front. Going with her on the inside is March Past. Getting away third is a Real by Emma. Racing in the fourth is Alyssa Down as they make their way down the back stretch for the opening quarter. Fifth on the inside is Electric Rock, then Wild Western Abbey. How Max Up Tempo, Trifecta Drummond, and back after a break was Contact Jones. As they make their way by the opening quarter, it's Marquez and El Zanico. Opening quarter was in 29-4. They race around the top turn. The inquiry sign has been posted. March Past is a racing second. Now with an eye to the outside, a third, Real Bayama. Racing in fourth, he is a listed down as the field makes their way off the 3/8 and down the stretch. In front of us, they come for the first time. On the inside is El Zanico. Up and on the outside, he is a Real Bayama. The race neck and neck by the half. Now on the outside, Real Bayama takes over top spot. They were by the half in 101 and 2 as they race into the lower turn. Travel over to the 5/8 now at Real Bayama. Racing second is El Zanico. Alyssa Down is a third up on the outside, and racing in fourth he is a March Past. Racing fifth, Electric Rock. Almax Up Tempo makes her way up on the outside to 6. Then Wild Western Abbey, trifecta drumming and way back is Contact Jones as they race by the 3/4. Real Bayama has opened up by about 5. Alyssa Down comes to second on the outside. There by 3/4, 1:31-1, and they race into the final turn, and Real Bayama has stepped off. She leads by now by about 7. Racing in second is Alyssa Down. Third is El Zanico. As they come off the top turn, down the stretch, they'll drive on home. They'll race for place in this one. Real Bayama and Alyssa Down is racing a second. Third is El Zanico. Turn the page. This one's over. Real Bayama for Rick Armstrong. Finishing second, Alyssa Down. March Past for third. Time for the mile, 2:02. Back to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of race number 2, it's horse number 6, Real Bayama. He's a brown gelding 4 by leader Bayama out of the Presidential Ball Mare, Pennsylvania Avenue. He's owned, trained, and driven by Rick Armstrong of Raceway. Real Bayama picks up win number 2 of 2011. Pacing this afternoon in 2:02. Trackside we have Mark Haig and Gary Haig, sons of Tony and Lorraine Haig, to present the cooler symbolic of the Tony and Lorraine Haig Memorial. To number 2, Real Bayama and Rick Armstrong. With 1, Connolly CC, 2, KG Duke, 3, Albert James Albert, 4, Magical Alex, 5, Greek Island. On the outside, 6 is Val Leader. Here they come. They're off, and Magical Alex quickly goes for and takes over top spot. Albert James Albert goes with him as they make their way around the first turn. Getting away third is Connolly CC. Val Leader tucks in the fourth. Then KG Duke in. Your trailer is Greek Island as they make their way off the 8th pole. Down the back stretch, they race on for the opening quarter, and up front and showing the way is Magical Alex and Todd Trites. Racing along in second, Albert James Albert. Racing third is Connolly CC. Val Leader looks at it fourth. Then Greek Island and your trailers, they make their way on by the opening quarter. He is KG Duke. They're by the opening quarter in 29-4, and into the top turn they go. Magical Alex shows the way. Racing in second, he is Albert James Albert, but now up on the outside now, and racing on to second, he is Val Leader as the field comes off. The 3/8 race down in front of us for the first time. On the inside is Magical Alex. On the outside is a Val Leader. Looking at it from third is Albert James Albert, then Connolly CC, Greek Island. KG Duke trails as they make their way by the half in 59-4, and around the turn they make their way over to the 5/8. Magical Alex is on the inside. Val Leader on his familiar spot. First over on the outside. Looking at it, the third is Albert James Albert. Picking up the cover now up fourth. On the outside is Connolly CC, then Greek Island and KG Duke. And down the backside they go. Magical Alex still there and showing the way. Tightening up now and back second on the inside is Albert James Albert. Outside third, Val Leader. 1:30-2 by the 3/4, and they swing into the top turn. Magical Alex looking to go coast to coast for 3 in a row. And Albert James Albert comes to second. Val Leader's third. Then Greek Island as they make their way off the top turn. Down the stretch they drive for home. It's Magical Alex. Racing second is Albert James Albert and Val Leader. It's Magical Alex 3 in a row. Finishing second, Albert James Albert. Val Leader for third, and the time for the mile, 2 minutes and 2/5. 5. 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 2 minutes and 2/5. 5 Into the winner's circle now is the official winner of race number 3. It's number 4, Magical Alex. He's a bay gelding 4 by Harrods out of the Magical Mike mare, Magical Ball. Owned by Bob McNeil of St. John and John Laverick of Raceway. Trained by Bob McNeil, Todd Trites is in the driver's seat. Magical Alex scores win number 6 of 2011, his third in a row. Pacing this afternoon, 2 minutes and 2 fifths to win the Eldon Kirkpatrick Memorial Pace. Congratulations to number 4, Magical Alex. Owners Bob McNeil and John Laverick and driver Todd Trites, winning the Eldon Kirkpatrick Memorial Pace. Starters line up behind the gate for race number 4, the Bob Taylor Memorial. We have 1, House of Stars, 2, Freedom Isn't Free, 3, Ryan's Fancy, 4, Furiously Fast, 5, Fernhill Treasure, 6, Wild Cherry, 7, The Power of Grin, outside 8 is Jesse's Whim, 1, Trailer 9, $1 Million Jewel. Here they come. Wild Cherry off stride, leaving, and they're off and pacing. Ryan's Fancy goes for the lead in the middle of the racetrack. Getting away good on the inside as House of Stars are racing in second. Furiously Fast up third on the outside. Getting away racing fourth. Freedom Isn't Free. Fernhill Treasure looks at it from fifth. And Fernhill Jewel, The Power of Grin. On the run is Jesse's Whim and back pacing. Wild Cherry is trailing the field as they make their way onto the opening quarter, and Ryan's Fancy shows the way. On the outside and parked a second is Furiously Fast. They're by the opening quarter in 29 and 3, and the field makes their way around the top turn with Ryan's Fancy. Furiously Fast is racing second on the outside. Racing in third and getting a good trip is House of Stars. As the field makes their way off the 3/8 down the stretch in front of us, they come for the first time on the inside. Showing the way is Ryan's Fancy, but now on the outside, showing a nose in front is Furiously Fast. Racing second over, third on the outside is Fernhill Treasure. That field went by the half in a minute and 1/5 as they race around the turn. Now a race over to the 5/8. Ryan's Fancy still shows the way. Furiously Fast is inching up second on the outside. House of Stars looks at it third. Out fourth on the outside, Fernhill to Treasure. And racing fifth up on the outside now is Freedom Isn't Free as they race down the back stretch. They're 3 wide. Going for the 3/4 on the inside, it's Ryan's Fancy. Fernhill Treasure on the far outside now shows a nose in front. And they're by the 3/4 and 1:31 and 1. And into the final turn they go. Ryan's Fancy fights back on the inside. Out with him on the outside, neck and neck, is Fernhill Treasure. Looking at it, third is House of Stars, and way wide is Freedom Isn't Free. As they come off the top turn and down the stretch, they drive for home. It's Ryan's Fancy. On the outside is Fernhill Treasure. House of Stars tries the passing lane. It's Ryan's Fancy in the passing lane. House of Stars, but Ryan's Fancy holds on to win it. Finishing second, House of Stars, Fernhill Treasure for third. The time for the mile, 2:02 and 4. Heading back to the winner's circle now is the unofficial winner of race number 4. It's horse number 3, Ryan's Fancy. Bay gelding 9 by Liz Ryan out of the Boone and Crockett mare, Rose is Rose. Owned by Randy Phillips and Kristen Quinn Phillips of St. John, trained by Randy Phillips. Lonnie Stokes in the driver's seat. Ryan's Fancy scores his first winning trip of 2011. It comes this afternoon in 2:02 and 4. It is the Bob Taylor Memorial Pace. Bob Taylor was a fixture on the backstretch, helping out in many barns over the years. Barns such as Boyd Tremere, Marcel Berriot, Brian Moore, Ronnie Chamberlain. Bob left us over the past year. This race is in his honor. Trackside, we have his wife Joan, his daughters Kelly and Jody, along with his grandchildren and his sisters. Congratulations, Lonnie Stokes, Randy and Kristen Phillips, and Ryan's Fancy, winner of the Bob Taylor Memorial Pace. Starters for race number 5, Atlantic Sire Stakes 2-year-old Pacing Colts B Division. Line up behind the gate. We have 1, Pictonian Espresso, 2, Widmere Fool's Art, 3, Making Art, 4, Mr. Thompson. The outside 5, Majestic Lifestorm. Here they come. Off and pacing, Pictoni Espresso quickly takes him out of there. Woodmere Fool's Art racing away second. Mr. Thompson gets away third on the outside. Making Art is fourth, and trailing the field fifth is Majestic Lifestorm as the field makes their way around the first turn. On their way to the Oath Pole, and Gilberto and Pictoni Espresso have set up shop on the front end. On the outside of racing a second, parked is Mr. Thompson. Third at the rail is a Woodmere Fool's Art, then Making Art. Majestic Lifestorm trails the field as the field makes her way on by the opening quarter. Pictoni Espresso took them there in 31 seconds flat. As the field makes her way into the top turn, Pictoni Espresso showing the way. Racing in second is Mr. Thompson. Woodmere Fool's Art looks at it from third. Making Art is fourth, and an eye to the outside from fifth is Majestic Lifestorm as the field comes off the 3/8 and down the stretch. They come in front of us for the first time and showing the way. It's Pictoni Espresso. Racing along in second is Mr. Thompson. Quickly up on the outside, Majestic Lifestorm comes to third. Following him, fourth on the outside is Making Art. They're by the half in 1:01 and 3, and they'll quicken it up here as they race around the lower turn. Pictoni Espresso on the way to the 5/8. Majestic Lifestorm's outside of racing second. Looking at it, third is Mr. Thompson. Racing in fourth is Woodmere Fool's Art. Making Art trails the field and down the backstretch. So they go, and Pictoni Espresso racing up tight now. In second is Mr. Thompson. On the outside, third is Making Art. The field was by the 3/4 in 1:32 and 2, and they make their way into the final turn. Pictoni Espresso shows the way. Mr. Thompson looks to pounce from second. Making Art's on the outside third. Woodmere Fool's Art. He'll look for the passing lane as they make their way off the 7/8 down the stretch. They come on home. It's Pictoni Espresso, and on the outside, Mr. Thompson comes to the top, and on the outside of him, Making Art. Down to the wire, it's Mr. Thompson to win it. Tight for second, maybe Making Art. Woodmere Fool's Art, they were tight. Finishing fourth, Pictoni Espresso and Majestic Lifestorm. Time for the mile, 2:03 and 4. Into victory lane is the winner of race number 5. Lanarkshire Stakes, 2-year-old pacing colts in the B division. It's number 4, Mr. Thompson. He's a bay colt, too, by Articulator out of the Cams Card Shark mare Yankee Checkers. Owned by Boyd McDonald Produce Limited of Croppo and Dan Ross of Belfast, Prince Edward Island. Trained by Wayne Bell. Mike Stevenson in the driver's seat. Mr. Thompson breaks his maiden. Picks up a win this afternoon. 2:03 and 4. Number 4, Mr. Thompson with Mike Stevenson. It's a full field of 9 starters lining up behind the gate. We have 1 Ars Wanderer, 2 Rackland Fine Line, 3 Magnetic Benka, 4 Tundra Shark, 5 Dusty Lane Buster, 6 Fox Valley Merlin, 7 New Party. Outside 8 is All American Dazzle, 1 Trailer 9 Shark Made Him. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Tundra Shark goes for the early lead, and going with him on the inside is Magnetic Benka, and Rackland Fine Line gets away good as well as they race their way around the turn. Tundra Shark opens up now by 3 lengths. On the inside, Rackland Fine Line to second, Magnetic Benka third on the outside. Getting away fourth from the hind tier was Shark Made Him. Racing along in fifth is New Party as the field makes their way down the backstretch onto the opening quarter. And Mark Campbell and Tundra Shark took them by the opening quarter. In 29 and 2, Magnetic Benka gets the parking ticket, second on the outside. Racing in third is Rackland Fine Line. Shark Made Him is racing fourth as the field makes their way around the top turn. And they come off the 3/8, race down in front of us now for the first time in Magnetic Benka. And Gilberto have taken over the top spot from Mark Campbell and Tundra Shark. Racing third is Rackland Fine Line. Shark Made Him looks at it fourth. Up on the outside, Ars Wanderer fifth. Then New Party. Racing in on the outside is Dusty Lane Buster. Then Fox Valley Merlin and All American Dazzle. Trails the field and they're by the half in 59 and 4. In around the turn they go. Racing for the 5/8 Magnetic Magnetic Bank is showing the way. Tundra Shark racing second. There goes Rackland Fine Line now to the outside from third. Racing along in fourth, laboring a little bit as Shark made him to the outside. Now is our Wanderers. They make their way down the back stretch. Next stop is the 3/4, and Magnetic Bank is on top by about 3 as they make their way by 3/4 in 1:30 and 3. And Rackland Fine Line's now up to second on the outside. Tundra Shark looking at it third. Dusty Lane Buster now fourth on the outside, and in between horses, it looks like Ours Wanderers. The field makes their way down the stretch for home. It's Magnetic Banka. Rackland Fine Line giving chase second. Ours Wanderer on the inside to be third, but it's Magnetic Banka to win it. Rackland Fine Line second. Ours Wanderer and Dusty Lane Buster. The time for the mile, 2:01 and 4. Back to the winner's circle now. Your unofficial winner of race number 6. It's number 3, Magnetic Banka. Big gelding 11 by Happy Family out of the Tyler B. mare Magic Puff, owned by Ray Fraser of Moncton, trained and driven by Jill Barrio. Magnetic Banka picks up his second winning trip of 2011, his 68th lifetime win. Winning the Centennial Buick GMC pace. Congratulations to number 3, Magnetic Banka. Owner Ray Fraser, driver Jill Barrio. Winning the Centennial Buick GMC pace in 2:01 and 4. Race 7, Atlantic Sire Stakes, 2-year-old pacing colts in the A division. Line up behind the gate. We have First Start Down, This Bird Will Fly, Pondside Thunder, Pictonian Double Shot, Hoshino Senshi, and Astronomical Union. Here they come. They're often quickly picked. Pondside Thunder goes for the early lead, and racing with him on the inside is This Bird Will Fly as they make their way into the first turn. Hoshino Senshi drives up third on the outside. Some confusion in the lower turn as This Bird Will Fly goes off stride, interfering with some trailers. Everybody's by okay. That leaves Pondside Thunder on top by 3 as they make their way to the opening quarter. Hoshino Senshi now marches up on the outside, now second, and takes over the lead. As they march through the opening quarter, Danny Romo and Hoshino Senshi have taken over top spot. Opening quarter in 29 and 4. Pondside Thunder racing in the second. First Start Down looks at it third. Astronomical Union is fourth. Racing fifth is Pictonian Double Shot. And back pacing after making an early break, but he's back on the run again as This Bird Will Fly as they make their way off the 3/8 down the stretch in front of us for the first time. Now to take back over top spot. On the outside is Pondside Thunder. On the outside, First Start Down comes to second. Hoshino Senshi racing along in third. They were by the half in 1 minute and 2/5 as they make their way around the lower turn, travel over to the 5/8, and Hoshino Senshi, a little rough in the turn. As they make their way to the 5/8, it's Pondside Thunder. First Start Down racing second. Up on the outside now, Astronomical Union makes his way to third. Hoshino Senshi fourth. Pictonian Double Shots fifth, and This Bird Will Fly trails as they make their way down the back stretch for the 3/4. Pondside Thunder still shows the way. Now up second on the outside, Astronomical Union, 1:30 and 4 by the 3/4, and fighting back on the inside. Back to second is First Start Down. Hoshino Senshi is a racing fourth. They make their way around the top turn off the 7/8 down the stretch. They drive on home. It's Pondside Thunder on the inside. Up on the outside, Astronomical Union. First Start Down goes to the passing lane. Down the stretch, it's Pondside Thunder. On the outside, Astronomical Union, but Pondside Thunder's going to win it. First Start Down for second, Astronomical Union. Then Hoshino Senshi finished fourth. Time for the mile, 2:01 and 1. Bringing back to the winner's circle now is the unofficial winner of race number 7. It's number 3, Pondside Thunder. Bay Pacing Colt, 2 years by Force of Life out of the No Nukes mare, Raisin Ruckus. Owned by Cliff Garland of Carbonear, Newfoundland. Trained and driven by Bernie McCullum. Pondside Thunder picks up his second winning trip of 2011. Winning the Atlantic Sire Stakes for 2-year-old pacing colts in the A Division this afternoon in 2-1-1. Congratulations to number 3, Pondside Thunder, owner Cliff Garland, trainer-driver Bernie McCollum, winning this afternoon in 2-1-1. Race 8 starters. The Downey Ford Lincoln Pace line up behind the gate with 1, Trish's Beauty, 2, Hijinks Banka, 3, Cacafella, 4, Hustler Hall, 5, Casimir Jocko, 6, Twilight Charm, 7, Ultimate Faith, on the outside 8, DG's Crosby. Here they come. They're off in Hijinks Banka and Trish's Beauty. They're neck and neck getting out of there. Casimir Jocko gets away third as they make their way around the first turn. On the inside of Trish's Beauty, Hijinks Banka now takes the pocket. Getting away third is a Cacafella. Park fourth on the outside, Casimir Jocko. Behind him now with the cover is DG's Crosby. Then Twilight Charm and Ultimate Faith trails the field as they make their way down the back stretch en route to the opening quarter. And Trish's Beauty and Gord Hennessy have set up shop on the front end, racing along in second is Hijinks Banka. There by the opening quarter, 29-4 as they make their way around the top turn. Travel over to the 3/8. It's Trish's Beauty. Hijinks Banka is racing second. Racing along in third, Cacafella, as they make their way off the 3/8 and down the stretch. They come in front of us for the first time. Your leader is Trish's Beauty. Racing second is Hijinks Banka. Cacafella is racing third. Fourth on the outside, DG's Crosby. Then Casimir Jocko, Twilight Charm, Hustler Hall, and Ultimate Faith. They were by the half in a minute flat as they make their way round the turn. Travel over to the 5/8 now. It's Trish's Beauty. Racing second, Hijinks Banka, and he's vacated the pocket. Comes to challenge as they make their way down the back stretch. Inside, Trish's Beauty. On the outside, Hijinks Banka, but he's rolled off stride. That leaves Cacafella now, comes to second. Casimir Jocko, Hustler Hall makes his way. He's picking them off one by one from fifth, now fourth. He's now third and going on as they make their way by the 3/4 and 1, 31 flat, and into the final turn they go. Trish's Beauty shows the way. Hustler Hall comes to call on the outside. Racing along in third, he is Cacafella. They bunch up a bit as they make their way off the top turn and down the stretch. It's Hustler Hall on the outside. On the inside, Trish's Beauty. Cacafella comes to third. They make their way halfway down the stretch. It's Hustler Hall and Cacafella, Hustler Hall, Trish's Beauty for second. Cacafella third, Casimir Jocko fourth. Time for the mile, 2:02-4. Back to the winner's circle with the driving triple, Gilberto. This time it's number 4, Hustler Hall. Bay Gilding, 7 by Blissful Hall. Out of the Jate LaBelle mare, Molly Chico, owned by Paul Sewell of Rosedale, trained by Gary Wright. Gilberto in the driver's seat. Hustler Hall picks up his 5th winning trip of 2011, his 26th lifetime, pacing this afternoon 2:02-4 to win the Downey Ford Lincoln Pace. Congratulations to number 4, Hustler Hall. Owner Paul Sewell, trainer Gary Wright, and driver Gilberto. 2:02-4 to win the Downey Ford Lincoln Pace. Atlantic Sire Stakes, second A Division. Line up behind the gate. We have 1, Abominator, 2, Smooth Talkin' Dan, 3, Driven by Example, 4, Selkirk Artemis, 5, Island Lexus. Outside 6 is Windermere Jack, and here they come. They're off and pacing Selkirk Artemis quickly for the top. In between horses is Driven by Example, and Abominator goes with him around the first turn. And Abominator takes over top spot, but not for long. Selkirk Artemis goes with them neck and neck around the turn. Driven by Example looks at it from third as they make their way off the turn. And down the back stretch, Smooth Dock and Dan get away fourth. And off striding on the run is Island Lexus, and trailing is Windermere Jack as the field makes their way on by the opening quarter and taking over top spot on the front end. Is Selkirk Artemis there by the opening quarter in 29-2. Abominator races along in second. Driven by Example looks at it from third. Smooth Talkin' Dan is racing fourth. Then Island Lexus fifth and Windermere Jack trails the field as they come off the 3/8 and race down the stretch. In front of us for the first time, and Brody McPhee and Selkirk Artemis are showing the way. Racing second, Abominator, driven by Example, racing third, up on the outside, fourth now. Smooth Talkin' Dan now on to third. That leaves Driven by Example fourth. Then it's Windermere Jack out and on the move, and Island Lexus trails the field. They're by the half in 101 and 1 around the turn. Now they go racing for the 5/8 and rolling off stride there. That Smooth Talkin' Dan as they make their way down the back stretch. It's Selkirk Artemis on top. Abominator racing second. Up on the outside now, coming to third is Windermere Jack. Fourth on the inside, Driven by Example, Island Lexus. And back pacing but trailing is Smooth Talkin' Dan as they were by the 3/4. Selkirk Artemis took them there, 132 and 3, and he'll take him into the top turn. Racing second, Abominator. Up third on the inside now, Driven by Example, Windermere Jack. Fourth on the outside, in Island Lexus, and trailing is Smooth Talkin' Dan, and off the 7/8. Down the stretch, they drive on home. It's Selkirk Artemis on the outside. Here comes Abominator on the far outside. Is Island Lexus. They're tightening up at the wire. Tight at the wire. Looks like Selkirk Artemis. Abominator. Finishing third is Island Lexus. The time for the mile, 2:03. Back to the winner's circle now. The winner of race number 9, Atlantic Sire Stakes, 2-year-old Pacing Colts A Division. It's number 1, Abominator. Bay Pacing Colt, 2 years by Carl Spur. Out of the quick comeback mare, Lewinsky. Owned, bred, and trained by Dr. Hugh Baird of Hampton. Gilberto drives. Abominator picks up his third winning trip of 2011, winning the Atlantic Sire Stakes for 2-year-old Pacing Colts this afternoon in 2:03. Congratulations, Dr. Hugh Baird and Gilberto. Number 1, Abominator, 2:03. Behind the Gate, sponsored by the Exhibition Association of the City and County of St. John. We have 1 Electra BG, 2 Canico Quickset, 3 Fun on a Star, 4 Fundiana, 5 Camco Winnett, 6 Simca, 7 I Wish I Wish, outside 8 Georgie Girl, 1 Trailer 9, A Work of Heart. Here they come. They're often pacing from the middle of the racetrack. Camco Winnett goes for the lead. Electra BG on the inside goes with her, and in between horses, Canico Quickset. As they make their way around the first turn, Electra BG shows the way. Up on the outside, 3 wide is Camco Winnett racing second. Up the inside now and coming to second. He is A Work of Heart. Canico Quickset gets away fourth, and Fun on a Star looks at it fifth. Fundiana sixth, then Simca, Georgie Girl, and trailing is I Wish I Wish as they make their way on by the opening quarter. Gordy Hennessy and Electra BG were there in 29 seconds flat. A Work of Heart works out a 2-hole trip, racing a second. As the field comes off the top turn, off the 3/8 and down the stretch, they race in front of us for the first time, being led up front by Electra BG. Racing up second on the outside, now comes Fun on a Star. A Work of Heart at the rail is a racing third. Canico Quickset locked in fourth. Simca follows cover up fifth on the outside, then Fundiana, Georgie Girl, I Wish I Wish, and back with broken equipment is Camco Winnett. They're by the half in 59 and 2, and they race around the turn, travel the 5/8. It's still Electra BG. Racing second, A Work of Heart. Fun on a Star is racing third. Canico Quickset, nowheres to go, locked in fourth. Simca's now up fifth on the outside, and down the backside they race. Next up is the 3/4 and Electra BG, opening up now by 2 lengths. 3 wide now, Simca racing on to second. 3/4 and 130 and 1, and they make their way around the top turn. It's Electra BG. Simca comes to second. Racing a third on the inside is Fun on a Star. Shaking loose is Canico Quickset fourth, and off the 7/8 down the stretch they make the drive on home. Electra BG is on the inside. Fun on a Star goes to the passing lane, and Simca's in the middle of the racetrack. So is Canico Quickset, but this one's all Electra BG to win it. Tight for second, maybe Simca. Tight for third. The time for the mile, 2:01 and 1. sponsored by the Exhibition Association of the City and County of St. John's, number 1 Electra BG. Baymare 6 by Electric Stena. Out of the Franz Hanover mare Belle Decor BG. Owned by Joanne Davies of St. John, trained by Peter Tricarton, Gord Hennessy in the driver's seat. Electra BG picks up her 9th winning trip of 2011. Going coast to coast this afternoon in 2:01:1. Number 1 Electra BG and Gordy Hennessy. Two-year-old Colt Pacers lined in behind the gate. Atlantic Sire Stakes action. A division, purse of $7,440. We have Touch of Lightning, Bayview Gale, So Classy, Dukes Up, Lone Star Sydney. On the outside is Lindale Royal, and here they come. They're often pacing 3 wide, getting under there on the inside, So Classy. In between horses is Dukes Up. And on the far outside, Lone Star Sydney. Into the first turn they go, and in between horses, Dukes Up. And on the outside of him, Lone Star Sydney. Racing right with him on the inside is So Classy. Hitting away now in fourth is a Touch of Lightning. And trailing back is Bayview Gale as they make their way onto the opening quarter. And your leader is Jill Barrio and Dukes Up. Racing along in second is So Classy. Lindale Royal looks at it third, then Lone Star Sydney. Touch of Lightning, Bayview Gale trails. They're by the opening quarter in 30 seconds flat as they make their way around the top turn and race over towards the 3/8. Your leader thus far is Dukes Up and Barrio. Racing a second is So Classy. Third on the inside is Lindale Royal. Looking at it fourth is Lone Star Sydney, then a Touch of Lightning. And Bayview Gale as they make their way on by the half. It's Dukes Up. And racing second is So Classy. They were by the half in 1 minute and 2 fifths, and they make their way around the turn, travel over to the 5/8. Dukes Up, your leader. Racing second is So Classy. Up on the outside now. Third comes Lindale Royal. Looking at it fourth is Lone Star Sydney. Touch of Lightning goes to the outside fifth. Then trailing afield is Bayview Gale as they make their way down the backstretch for the 3/4, and Dukes Up still shows the way. Here comes Lindale Royal coming to call on the outside, racing third out the rail. He is So Classy. 1:30 by the 3/4, and they make their way around the top turn. Dukes Up is on the inside. Lindale Royal on the outside. So Classy third. Touch of Lightning out wide now comes to third, and they come off the 7/8. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and Dukes Up will try to close it out, but on the outside, racing second and coming on is Lindale Royal to the top. Dukes Up and a Touch of Lightning, but at the wire it's going to be Lindale Royal to win it. Dukes Up second. Touch of Lightning for third, and the time for the mile, 2 minutes and 2 fifths. Back to the winner's circle. Your winner of race number 11, it's number 7, Lindale Royal. Big gelding, 2 years old, by Force of Life out of the No Nooks mare, Royal Pursuit. Owned by Dave McDonald of Belfast, trained by Terry Afleck, Brody McPhee in the driver's seat. Lindale Royal picks up win number 4 of 2011. Winning Atlantic Sire Stakes, 2-year-old pacing Colts A division this afternoon, 2 minutes and 2 fifths. Congratulations, Dave McDonald, Terry Afleck, and Brody McPhee. Lindale Royal, 2 minutes and 2 fifths. 12th race starters line up behind the gate. Race sponsored by Mitchell Downey's Loch Lomond Veterinary Hospital. Reduced field of 7. We have 1, Hello America. 2, Woodmere Big Splash. 3, Pan Cushion. Scratch 4. 5 is Dance Hanover. 6, 7 Signs. 7, Man in Pink. On the outside, 8 is Duplicator, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Dance Hanover from the outside, and Pan Cushion goes with them on the inside as they make their way into the first turn. Pan Cushion wins the early battle, but Dance Hanover racing second now. He'll tuck in the 2-hole. Looking at it third is Hello America. Racing up fourth on the inside is Woodmere Big Splash. On the outside and racing fifth is Duplicator. Then 7 Signs and your trailer. But on the move is Man in Pink as they make their way to the opening quarter, and Stevenson and Pancushion are by the opening quarter, 29-1. Dance Hanover follows along second. Hello America looks at it from third. Woodmere Bleak Splash is racing fourth. Up on the outside now and driving fifth. That comes Duplicator, and Man in Pink picks up the cover as the field comes off the 3/8 and race down the stretch in front of us for the first time. Year leader up front is Pancushion. Racing second is Dance Hanover. Racing along in third, Hello America, swooping up 3 wide now. Here comes Man in Pink, quickly up third on the outside. Is Pancushion, took them by the half in a minute and 2/5 in the field. Race around the turn, travel over to the 5/8 now. It's Pancushion. Up on the outside comes Man in Pink to second. Racing third is Dance Hanover. Hello America racing fourth. Duplicator fifth on the outside. Then Woodmere Big Splash. 7 Signs trails the field, and Man in Pink goes off stride as the field rolls on by the 3/4, and taking them by the 3/4 is Pancushion. They were by that marker 1:30-3, and racing into the top turn, Pancushion. Dance Hanover racing a second. Man in Pink racing third as the field comes off the 7/8 now, and they drive on down the stretch and pop in the pocket. Here comes Dance Hanover out from second as they make the turn for home. It's Pancushion. Dance Hanover on the outside. Man in Pink to the passing lane, but Dance Hanover's full of pace down the stretch, and he paces away. Pancushion for second. Man in Pink third. The time for the mile, 1:59-2. Back to the winner's circle now is your winner of race number 12 is number 5, Dance Hanover. Big gelding 8 by Estrellos. Out of the top notch, your mare, Drop Your Riggin'. Owned by the Ultimate Stable of Greater Lakeburn. Trained by Robert Laffin. Mark Campbell drives. Dance Hanover wins his 3rd winning trip of 2011, his 32nd lifetime, winning the Loch Lomond Veterinary Hospital Pace. Congratulations, number 5, Dance Hanover, the Ultimate Stable, Robert Laffin and Mark Campbell. Dance Hanover, 1:59-2.